We're going to call to order our agenda meeting of June 3rd. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker. Commissioner Beck.
It's absent.
Commissioner Chauncey.
Here.
Commissioner Eversol.
Here.
Commissioner Graham.
Here.
Commissioner Helton.
He is still here somewhere.
Dr. Hollander.
Here.
Dr. Mackey.
Here.
Commissioner Sharp.
Here.
Commissioner Shipley. Chairman Smith.
Here. Thank you. We will be looking at the minutes of the June 3rd, 2026 agenda meeting, as well as the June 3rd, 2026 regular meeting, and we expect to also have 2 reports sent into the record. So we'll move on to resolutions. Madam Clerk, the 2 resolutions that are on here, 626-30 and 626-31, we have already voted on to move to the 10th, so we will keep on moving down the list.
Okay.
Please read 626-32.
Resolution 626-32, a resolution to approve and accept applications for notary public positions, the bonds and oaths of notaries previously elected, and to file the bonds of Hamilton County 911 Emergency Communications District.
Thank you. We'll take that up next meeting. Oh, I have elect. Commissioner Eversol? No? Yes? Good. All right, moving on, 626-33, please.
Resolution 626-33, a resolution to confirm the reappointments of Jamie Bergman and Ray Bond to the Hamilton County Regional Health Council.
See no lights. Moving on, 626-34, please.
Resolution 626-34, a resolution making an appropriation to Lookout Valley Elementary School in the amount of $909 from general fund travel discretionary monies as allotted to District 11.
Thank you. 626-35.
Resolution 626-35, a resolution making an appropriation to East Ridge Needy Child Fund in the amount of $2,000 from general fund travel discretionary monies as allotted to District 8.
Still no lights. So that's good. All right, so moving on, that finishes our committee of the whole. That'll take us to committee assignments. We've got Finance and Budget, Commissioner Eversol, 2 resolutions. Education, Commissioner Graham, 1 resolution. Public Safety, Commissioner Beck, 1 resolution. I'll do that one next. Building and Economic Development, Commissioner Shipley, 3 resolutions. And then we've got Public Works and Zoning with 6 resolutions. And I'm going to take them in the order of Public Safety and then Building and Economic Development. Then we'll go back to the order in which they are on the agenda. So first one, we're bouncing around a little bit. Madam Clerk, apology for that. Let's read 626-39, please.
Resolution 626-39, a resolution to authorize the county mayor to enter into a contract between the state of Tennessee, Department of Military, Tennessee Emergency Management Agency, and Hamilton County for a no-match emergency management performance grant in the amount of $143,867.53.
All right, Madam Clerk.
You want to adjourn the agenda session?
Gosh, so I just kept right on going. Actually, I'll adjourn now because I had to do that one committee as part of the whole anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the reminder. All right, with that, we will be adjourned until June 3rd at 5 p.m. and then we'll finish with the rest of our committees. Commissioner Shipley, you're up, sir.
Sure.
Oh, I got June 3rd on mine because that's when it was not updated. Sorry, June 10th at 5 p.m. for our special called session. Thank you for the correction, sir. Commissioner Shipley.
No, now.
No. Go to Budget and Economic Development. See, I got you all messed up too. It's your committee. Building and Economic Development, starting with 626-40. We are bouncing around a little bit. Oh no, got you messed up.
All right, Madam Clerk, 626-40.
Resolution 626-40, a resolution authorizing the execution of an option extension agreement with Volkswagen Group of America, Inc., the City of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and the Industrial Development Board of the City of Chattanooga regarding certain real property defined as the option property.
Any lights?
No, sir, but I do see the mayor. He may have a comment. Mr. Mayor, you good?
Yeah, I'm good if y'all have any questions.
I don't see any lights on this item at the time. Commissioner Shipley,
Okay.
back to you, sir.
626-41.
Resolution 626-41, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to accept a Tennessee Youth Employment Program grant from the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development in the amount of $442,763, requiring no match, and to amend the Office of Economic and Community Development's fiscal year 27 revenues and expenditures budget upon the finalization of the grant contract and related document.
Commissioner Graham, I see your light, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry, I let the other one get away from me. Is there no explanation to the Volkswagen why they want an extension on the property?
There's an explanation if you would like one.
Well, I mean, we went through that and didn't explain it.
We've been in conversations with Volkswagen leadership and the city about different outcomes there in the option property. We feel like all parties feel like it's in the best interest to agree to a extension so that we've got more time to look at options.
I just wanted an explanation. Thank you.
But we're all on the same page.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, you got it.
All right.
Just to verify, this is the roughly 800 acres that adjoins the current Volkswagen plan. Is that correct? That they have the option on, that they're looking at putting the Audi plant in?
Yeah, it's the main manufacturing area that's adjacent currently to Volkswagen.
Yeah, some people
On
had
Claude
questioned that.
Ramsey. Yes, sir.
Some of the constituents wanted to understand why. I just want to be, for clarity, I believe it was roughly 800 acres and it's already zoned industrial.
Yes, sir.
It would not have to be, it would not come out of the nature park or anything like that.
No, it is not in the nature park.
That's-
No, sir.
That was my understanding, but I just wanted for the public's knowledge to be clarities. It has been, the brownfield has been rectified somewhat there though, is it not?
I mean, it has land use restrictions. That's why it's industrial and can only be used as
Industrial cannot-
industrial. But yeah, there was quite a bit of cleanup
Right.
relative to the Army to a certain depth. Yes,
That's
sir.
my area. And thank you. That's what I understood. I just wanted to get some clarity for the public. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman.
No further lights. Commissioner Shipley, back to you, sir.
626-42.
Resolution 626-42, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a waiver as to specific property regarding Lot 17 in the Center South Riverport Industrial Park.
No lights, we'll move on.
I see no lights. I believe that was your last item, sir. So we will move back up to the top. Finance and Budget, Commissioner Eversole.
Thank you, Chairman. 626-36, please.
Resolution 626-36, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to apply to the Tennessee Department of Transportation and accept a litter prevention and trash collection grant in the amount of $127,300 with a contract period beginning July 1st, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027.
Chief, is this the annual payments? Is this, what is this all from TDOT?
So it's one of three sources that we use in alternative sentencing. This is the one that comes from the malt beverage tax.
Okay.
That's roughly 127,000 every year. It fluctuates a couple of $100. It's this amount this year. There's a certain stipulation, I think this year about $44,000 to $45,000 of the grant will go towards the education, the billboards that you see, wrapping of vans, some school education programs relative to littering and so forth. And it is a zero match.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Yes,
Seeing no
sir.
lights, we'll take it up. On the 17th, 626-37.
Resolution 626-37, a resolution approving the purchase of one Kubota M6-111 DTC F1 tractor with diamond mower from Kubota Chattanooga through the Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative in the amount of $179,896.65 for the Highway Department, approving a budget amendment transfer for fiscal year 2026 from the Public Works Division to Capital Outlay in the unassigned division, and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
Todd?
Yes, sir. So we currently have a tractor and boom that's inoperable, cannot be repaired. I don't have the information on that. I can send it to you, but this is to replace that one.
Okay.
And we'll keep the old one probably for scrap. But it is a new tractor with boom mower to maintain our right of way.
Okay, good deal.
Yes, sir.
And I made the announcement at our finance committee meeting earlier at 4 o'clock. What we're gonna do moving forward is on the first and third Wednesdays, those meetings, we will have a budget finance meeting at 4 o'clock instead of waiting till after. And we'll cover those items. So if there's an item on the agenda for that day, we will cover them at 4 o'clock in the conference room. Love it. Okay, thank you. We'll take these up next week. That's it.
All right, thank you, sir. Takes us to education. Commissioner Graham?
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please read 62638 into the record, please?
Resolution 626-38, a resolution to amend the school's federal projects fund budget by $2,843,093, adding $2,843,093 to the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget, to amend the self-funded projects fund budget by $1,873,512, appropriating fund balance of $231,678, and adding $1,641,834 to the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget, to amend the general purpose fund budget by $23,987,709, appropriating fund balance of $7,517,100, and schools capital projects fund budget by $3,968,000, adding revenue of $3,968,000.
Wow, that was a lot. That's a lot. Very good. Can you explain it to us and give us your name for the record, please?
CFO for Hamilton County Schools. So there's a lot of dollars in here. So this is our second budget amendment, trying to kind of pull the true up for all years. So I'll give you a few of the highlights. One is on the general purpose is the summer reach grant from the state. So that gives us about $5.7 million to go do summer tutoring for our students. We also put the lighting grant, the lighting program that we're doing the lighting in our schools. We're getting a loan, so it's recognized the revenue for that grant loan so that we can purchase, put the purchase order in for that before the end of the year.
That's with EPP, right?
Yeah. There's no change in maintenance of effort. This is all, grant revenue and then recognizing those. And on the capital budget, that is for recognizing kind of the initial project money that we're going to spend this year on Soddy Daisy Middle and some of those other projects. We just have to run those through our budget to recognize them through the state to give us a appropriation spending.
So what you're basically doing is truing up your budget
Yes.
so we can end the budget on a solid note.
Yes.
And we're not changing the maintenance of effort.
No, sir.
And there's no additional ask. It's just kind of a
Nope.
cleanup measure
Yes.
is all it is.
Yes, sir.
Is there any questions?
Yeah, I just wasn't here last week for your budget. Heard it went very well. Congratulations on that.
Thank
How much do you have in your fund balance?
Um,
Ballpark.
The unassigned is about 30 million. And then we have, certain things restricted for the big thing is for the Tennessee retirement pivots. I think it's around 100 million in total, but some of those are restricted.
So so 30 is unrestricted and 100's restricted.
But that's in total with, so about 70
70,
restricted
okay.
for various things.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
Any other
Commissioner
questions?
Highlander?
Thank you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to remember, it was 3 months expenses that
Yes,
that
so the operating expenses,
is the
yes.
minimum that you're
Yes.
expected to keep in there, which would be how much?
I think it's about 20 million, 16 to 20 million right now. I've gotten,
I was thinking,
Yeah.
20 to 25 million, that's the minimum that you
right.
should,
Is
unrestricted that you
yes.
should be able to keep.
Yes.
So you're only slightly above that.
Yes,
Okay. And I took from having worked with you in the school system, you do a great job and we
Thank you.
appreciate you, ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Any
Chairman.
other questions? Gentlemen, will she need to come back the next meeting or are we okay with all your questions? If we ask them now, she won't have to come back.
I don't think so.
Unless you just want to come back, you don't
Okay.
have to come back next time. But thank you for all your hard
Okay.
work and thank
Thank
you for
you.
all this information.
Okay, thank you for your
Thank
support.
you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Moving on, Public Works and Zoning. Commissioner Highlander, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. Ma'am, would you read, let me see now, we flipped over. I've got to go back to find the right place.
62643.
626-43 should be it. If you would, please, ma'am.
Resolution 626-43, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to enter into an interlocal agreement with the city of Chattanooga, Tennessee, which defines the framework for planning services within the city and the county and establishes the funding and administrative responsibility for the Chattanooga, Hamilton County, North Georgia Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Thank you. One comment, and Nathan may want to back me up on this, but it is now called the Transportation Planning Organization. They have done a name change. Does that need to be, Madam Clerk, do we need to change that as a name change? I'm the vice chair of that group and it's a TPO instead of MPO now. Am I correct on that?
No, it's
Mr.
now,
Lehman?
it used to be the TPO. It's now the MPO.
Okay, I'm
Yes, sir.
sorry. I
Yeah,
stand
but
corrected.
you're correct here until about two years ago.
Okay, so it was changed.
We did
So
change it. Yes, sir.
it was TPO, now it's MPO. Thank you. You're correct. Sorry, my fault. Well, Mr. Janeway, will be up here helping us out because we're making the transition from RPA to Hamilton County planning. So I've asked him to come and explain what comes up. If you would, please, may I read 626-44, and I've got a comment before we go on to it.
Resolution 626-44, a resolution adopting Plan Hamilton as the regional general plan for the unincorporated area of Hamilton County, Tennessee.
Thank you. As I alluded to earlier, Mr. Shipley has a family obligation. I hope you don't mind my saying that it's that he cannot get out of. And I have a 50-year anniversary trip that's been planned for over a year. And I will be gone on the 17th. And I would ask your indulgence to postpone this one until July 1st. And since we can't take a vote, am I correct, Chairman? I would like to have a consensus of agreement that since I'm the chairman, I'd like to be here for this. So any disagreements with it?
do object.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. We have one objection. What's the policy on that? Is it a majority or does it have to be unanimous?
Well, we're not in a voting session. My feel, and Madam Attorney, feel free to interject here, is that it has been read at agenda. It could be moved during a regular session, but that of course would be the 17th. That would be the meeting that you're talking about. So if we are unable to have a consensus on it, I feel it probably needs to stay on the agenda.
And if you don't mind, I'll make a comment on that. And I understand that how divided we are on this. I've been waiting a really long time. We've been around this block probably a third time now. And and it's really not that I don't want to put it off, but I really don't know who's going to be here on June the 1st. And when June 1st comes around, I don't really know, like I said, who's going to be here and who's not going to be here and what other reasons we have to keep putting it off. So, like I said, if we're just here to kind of codify something that we've already voted on, we've heard from hundreds of public inputs from everybody. So I really can't see any reason to put it off for that reason. So that's just my reason for objecting. I would like to see it stay on the agenda for the 17th.
I've got another light. Do you want to hear the rest of them, sir?
Yes, sir, please.
Commissioner Eversole?
Yeah, I respectfully disagree with the last comment. This is an important vote, period. This affects the lives of people. It affects the unincorporated part of the county. And I think this body, when you have two representatives that have mostly unincorporated, need to be here when the vote is said. And I don't see any reason why we can't wait a couple extra weeks. We've waited this long, so what's a couple extra weeks? I strongly oppose us doing this when we can't be here as a whole. We made a special arrangement to do the budget on the 6th. And I don't see what's it with giving it a couple extra weeks. And I think we deserve to have all parties here so that all parties can get representation, especially the two that's missing represent mostly unincorporated part of the county, and this is what Plan Hamilton is about. So I think we're looking at it wrong. I think we're jumping the gun. I don't know who's going to be here on the 1st, but I know Chairman Hollander of this. I wouldn't want him to miss his 50th anniversary trip that they've already paid for. And I think he deserves to be here to represent his people. So
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents.
Baker, same.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, I mean, just like we just planned the 10th for our budget because everyone will be here, which I thought was smart on our part to make sure everyone's there. I think, July 1st, we could do it the 10th, either way. But as long, everybody ought to be here. And if not on July 1st, then the next time. I mean, we're so close right now. Let's just go ahead and find a time. Let's go for July 1st or the 10th. It doesn't matter. Everyone should be here. Everyone should have, one final discussion on it. Thank you.
I'm gonna back up Eversole, Baker, and Highlander. I have a commitment, but I will come here and vote if I have to drive where I'm going and lose 2 nights. I will not miss the vote. It's that important to the people in my district, all over Hampton County. We've waited this long. 3 more weeks ain't gonna hurt. Thank you.
And thank you, Chairman. So I hear everybody saying that it would be respectful and to have everyone up here on this dais before we vote. And I do remember a time that we were discussing this during a meeting, and it more towards the end of the meeting when we were having our announcements. There were several commissioners that got up and left for whatever reason. And whoever was left up here tried to vote on this matter and take advantage of those who weren't here, which was very disrespectful for the ones who weren't here. So those who do remember this, I'll refresh your memory if you don't at a later date. So if the same opportunity, if the first comes around and say a couple commissioners here were supporting the Plan Hamilton before and they didn't make it, would I be afforded the same opportunity to postpone it? I don't think I would. So that's where I stand. Thank you. Coach.
I respect your opinion, Commissioner Chauncey, and I will tell you what, if you had a 50th anniversary that your wife was going to, I would definitely vote. I don't care which side you were on. I mean, I don't care which side you're on. I would respectfully would honor you on that. I will see, we have planned this for a year. All my family's going. We're going to the north. And we'll be in Massachusetts. It was purchased a year ago, and I've got a substantial amount of money. I will do my best to get a plane ticket to fly back if I have to. It's important that golly bum. I'd hate to get divorced after 50 years.
Commissioner Eversole.
No,
I
think-
wonder why 2 weeks would matter when we have waited long. Commissioner Chauncey's right. We've made it a long time. We have waited a long time. I just don't think that 2 weeks would make that much difference, but. Okay.
Commissioner Eversole.
No, I'll follow that. I can't for the life of me but think that we would have a man buy a plane ticket to come back for this vote and then go back. That's appalling. That's ridiculous.
Commissioner Shipley.
I have one more question, County Attorney. So on the 10th, I think Chairman questioned a while ago why we can't vote on this on the 10th.
Would you be willing to do it earlier?
How can we, is there anything we can do here? Because or we can have a special call meeting on the 12th, right? 10th on a Wednesday, 12th on a Friday. This board, 6 people can have a special call meeting anytime we want to if there's 6 votes, right?
I think the only thing that would need to be done is that you would just need to add it to the agenda for the 10th, as long as there's a consensus to do so.
Okay. Is there a consensus to do that?
Commissioner Shipley, I hate to be the one to burst the bubble, but I won't be here on the 10th as I have a long-standing
Okay.
family.
Could I ask? May I ask, is there anyone that cannot be here on the 17th? I mean, on the July 1st?
I am not. I'll be.
So everyone can be here on the 1st, but two of us cannot be on the 17th, supposedly. So, okay. Well,
Okay,
if there's no consensus,
Chairman.
and if 100% consensus is required, is that correct?
Yes, sorry, a point of clarification, because I just spoke with the deputy clerk. Apparently earlier, when we discussed the letter and how it specifically named two resolutions that needed to be heard specifically on the 10th, when I said that was my concern, is that the letter didn't have any other resolution numbers on it. Apparently I was right. State law requires the written application from a commissioner to call a special meeting to have the exact resolutions that are going to be on that special meeting. So what I am saying is you would have to amend your letter, Commissioner Shipley, to then add the resolution for 626-44. And everybody that signed it, or different commissioners, whoever wants to sign it would sign it.
I'm not signing.
That's for the 10th, she said.
You can save it. I'm not signing the letter. Again.
Well, it's a similar situation for myself. I will fly back. I won't hesitate. But I'll make sure.
I thought we were putting it on the 1st.
Oh, I thought we were going back to the 10th. Okay. Well, we have an objection.
I think I made my. Y'all keep looking over at me like I'm gonna change my mind. I'm here on the 17th and that's where I stand. So we just keep looking at each other and wondering if something else is gonna pop out of our mouths, but it's not.
Okay. Madam Attorney, correct me if I'm wrong, then without 100% consensus, it needs to stay on the date that it is. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on then.
There's one more line.
Oh, one more line, I'm sorry.
Something else to add? Okay.
Okay. Hey, forgive me if have we read 626-44, ma'am? I don't remember now.
Ask for like public comment.
Yeah, could we have public comment on this? That's a good idea.
We don't do public comment.
What?
We don't during the voting.
It's not a vote, but
We always give public comment during the zoning item.
may I request a public comment?
Well, I'm sorry, in zoning. Chauncey is correct.
Thank you. You don't need.
So no comment, no public comments allowed, or?
No, we do public comment during zoning.
Okay, so if you want to make a comment, please come up. You can have up to 3 minutes.
Could you please put the timer up?
Jennifer Duval, Coulterville Road, Seal Creek. I formally and respectfully ask you all to go to July the 1st for anything Plan Hamilton related. I am in unincorporated area. This would directly affect my area, and I want my commissioner there to be able to make sure we are being represented correctly. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Name and address for the record, please.
Kim Helton, 8618 Snow Hill Road. I can see why some commissioners that don't represent unincorporated areas don't get the real impacts of what this vote means. This is a very important vote for the unincorporated areas, and the commissioners that represent those areas should be here to vote. It shouldn't be a question. I mean, they should be here. It's the plan for their area. They should be able to be here to vote. Since this came out of the blue for the citizens, we had no idea till about a month ago. All of a sudden, it's back. This was approved September of last year. This has been 10 months, and out of the blue, we hear about it. All of a sudden, it just comes back. And so the citizens were kind of shocked about this to begin with. It's back. And that now we hear that our commissioners, their representatives, have plans, can't be here, and we don't understand why this can't be moved to a date where they can be here. The commissioners that don't represent the unincorporated areas don't have as much a stake in it. So, the ones that have a stake in it should be here. And that's just common sense to me, to hold a vote when the commissioners that represent those areas aren't even here. So, I mean, I just hope that this will be reconsidered to be either a special called meeting or to be on July the 1st, when those commissioners that this will affect the most and affect their constituents the most, they can be here to vote. Thank you.
Hi, Hadrian Turner, 4006 Dearmont Court. So this is the first time I'm up here without notes, actually, as an individual. But yeah, I would also like to echo what the people before me said, which is that that vote be moved to the 1st of July, because it's a very large decision that affects all of the incorporated area or unincorporated area, which I happen to live in as well and care about a lot. And I think that all the commissioners should be there to cast their vote. Thank you.
Name and address for the record.
Noah Johnston, District 3, and I would like to also state that I believe that all of the commissioners should be present for this vote. And so far in this conversation about choosing a different date, I've not heard the opinion of the representative of District 3, who's currently not present. And so I would think that this conversation needs to take place while the commissioner from District 3 is present, in order for us to be able to accurately determine which date every commissioner can be present. So I fully support every commissioner being present, and that includes my commissioner from District 3. And I have no idea whether or not he will be present, as he's already slipped out for the night. So thank you.
Commissioner Highlander, may I add something?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, and this is just an option, a procedural thing. If we don't have a consensus to move this on the 17th, we can move it to a date to be determined with 6 votes or a majority. Move it to the 1st or whatever on the 17th.
The vote's not gonna be here.
It's just a majority of who's here that day. We can move it.
All right.
If it's the will.
I got other questions. So we can't do it on the 10th. Let's do another letter, correct?
You can
But
add the topic.
What day will you be here?
Okay.
In time.
I can be here any other day other than that. So the 17th or after.
So you'll be back 17th.
Yes, sir. Just next week I have a family
Okay,
obligation.
all right, gotcha. Sorry.
Sorry, sir.
Could I, Chairman, your recommendation, would you repeat your recommendation?
All I was saying is, as we've done with other items, as long as we have a majority of the people who are here, is this correct, Madam Attorney? We can move it to a date to be determined. If it 7-1, whatever we need to do, it can be done that way.
Okay.
And I think that's just an option
When would we have to make that? On the 10th?
on the 17th.
No, I mean, when would we have to vote on that?
On the 17th.
Couldn't do it on the 10th. That's a special call meeting,
No,
but you could on the 17th.
correct.
Okay. So as it stands now, it will be on the 17th, we will bring the question up and either it will be voted on or it will be moved to a later date by majority vote. Is that correct?
I think those the easiest option.
Okay. Okay, so that's where it stands. So let's move on then. Madam Clerk, would you read?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mr. Baker.
Yeah, I just like to suggest that Nathan, at that meeting, when we do that vote, kind of wrap it in with the new RPA plan. Talk us about the structure and what your thoughts are, just how it's going to function. Because that'll be ready to go July 1st, and I know you're well down the line on it. So if we could wrap that in and how all this comes together, I think it'd be helpful. Thank you.
That would be good.
Yes, sir.
That would be positive, both of them at the same time, I think. Okay. Any other lights? Okay. Madam Clerk, if you would read 626-45, please.
Resolution 626-45, a resolution to amend the Hamilton County zoning regulations, all articles and sections to change any reference to the Regional Planning Agency to the Hamilton County Planning Department.
Thank you, ma'am. Any comments, Mr. Janeway?
So this is just a clerical item, updating references in zoning code, taking RPA out of those references and adding in Hamilton County Planning Department.
Okay. Good enough. Okay, thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, 620, any comments or questions from, okay, Madam Clerk, 626-46, please.
Resolution 626-46, a resolution to amend the Hamilton County zoning regulations, Article 3, Section 101, the zoning map to change reference from the Regional Planning Agency to the Hamilton County Planning Department.
Any questions on that for Mr. Janeway?
Same thing, just the mapping side.
Okay, thank you, sir. That will come up next meeting. Okay, Madam Clerk, 626-47, please.
Resolution 626-47.
I'm sorry, we have a question? I'm sorry, I didn't realize you had a light on, Mr. Sharp, I'm sorry.
No worries at all, Commissioner. You don't have the lights in front of you. I'm just, that kind of snuck up on me there just a little bit. The 626-44, a resolution adopting, no, I'm sorry, it's the one after that. A resolution to amend the Hamilton County zoning regulations, all articles and sections to change any reference to Regional Planning Agency. So you're just changing RPA to Hamilton County Planning Department. That's all that is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Sorry for the interruption, ma'am. Would you go ahead and finish reading that, please?
Resolution 626-47, a resolution to rezone from R5 Single Wide Manufactured Home District to R3 Multifamily Residential District for the property located at 5502 Pearl Street.
Any comments from any of the commissioners? Mr. Janeway, anything?
Yeah, so, obviously we're in a transition period here. So I have the case files from RPA on this. They were the reviewing body. This has been heard by the Planning Commission and a recommendation's been made. I'm happy to walk through this if you'd like me to, or I can just answer any questions. This was an unopposed item.
There was no opposition.
Correct.
Does anyone want to hear any explanation, Mr. Janeway? Okay. Mr. Evsall?
Any comments other than we used to put district numbers on these, Commissioner
Right.
Helton?
Okay, I thought we had it on there, but maybe not.
Neither of the items.
Okay, we'll make
Neither-
sure,
neither
we'll
one of them do.
we'll make sure next month we have those on there.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, but, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, without going through the entire presentation, I just like it to be read into the record that this item, while not unopposed, does not comply with Plan Hamilton as it currently sits, and also was recommended for denial by Planning Commission. So I just want the commission to be aware of that.
Okay, and the rationale for denial?
It doesn't comply with Plan Hamilton. We make all of our recommendations based off of the adopted plan, and so that's the recommendation. I think, let me just show, if you don't care, I'll show you the site plan real quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Basically, the business owner has the C2 parcel. Behind it is another parcel that they also own, that is zoned residential at the moment. That's the aerial. And then that's sort of what's around it. And if I'm going too fast, anybody can stop me.
This is the one that's adjacent to the Collegedale residential development.
Correct, yeah. And as I said, it's Plan Hamilton recommends residential for this area. That's his site plan. Basically, he's wanting a covered storage lot behind his current commercial lot. So, like I said, the staff recommended denial, and then Planning Commission recommended denial. Obviously, you guys can make a different decision if you feel that's necessary.
Commissioner Eversole, that's your district, I believe, is it not?
It is, yeah. Is this the one that's, has been performing a business at it?
So if you look at the site map here that he drew, you can see right there on the road frontage on the left side, that's where he's operating a business currently. And what he's trying to do is just get a little more space for covered storage for his business.
Okay, yep. I'm aware of this one. Thanks.
Okay. We can maybe talk to some of the community. And has there been a community meeting? Do you have any idea?
I don't believe so. I'm not aware of one.
Okay. I think community meeting would be good before we approve. Okay, thank you very much. Ma'am, read the next one, please, ma'am. 626-48, the last one.
Resolution 626-48, a resolution to rezone from R2A Rural Residential District to C2 Local Business Commercial District for the property located at 11254 Old East Brainerd Road.
Okay. Any comments on that, Mr. Janeway?
Yes, Chairman, if you don't mind, I'd like to walk through this one in a little bit more detail because it's a little bit complicated. This one was also unopposed. This case does comply with Plan Hamilton as passed. Currently, it's zoned R5 single wide manufactured home district, and the applicant is requesting R3, which is a multifamily type zone, fairly intense usage level. Plan Hamilton does recommend a more intense use here in this area. Let me get to that for you. It suggests urban residential, which is up to 15 units per acre. This is a small parcel, so what they're requesting is the ability to do a triplex. So in accordance with the plan, we recommended to approve this, but we were a little bit worried about the precedent that R3 might set. R3 allows multi-floor, multi-unit structures. The applicant's really not trying to do that. All they want is the triplex. And so the recommendation for this is that we go with R3MD instead of R3. And basically the difference between that is R3MD sets a height cap. It also gives a little more flexibility on side setbacks, but it would keep it to a triplex as opposed to allowing it to become an apartment complex or something like that. This is the site plan the applicant submitted. The way we understand it right now is that this site plan would not even work in R3MD, but that the applicant, if they're awarded R3MD, could then go to BOZA and get a couple of setback variances, potentially if it was awarded by BOZA to build this site plan. I think currently their total square footage on the lot is around 10,000 square feet, and they would need about 11.5 to fit this site plan in there.
So it'd be fairly close.
It'd be close, yeah. So our recommendation, like I said, would be that you not approve R3, that you approve other and approve R3MD for this development. Just a couple of other points on this. That area of Ottawa is right there by Main Street, Ottawa. We see a lot of business activation there. I think it has potential to be a nice little downtown area, and a little bit more housing in the area could help activate those businesses and draw more people to that small town center.
Commissioner Lights, Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Janaway, you keep referring to Plan Hamilton, which is fine, but you refer to it as it was been approved. It's not been approved. It's been approved by the Planning Commission, but it's not been approved by this body. So
Correct.
therefore, it's not approved, right?
So legally speaking, and the attorney can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was approved by Planning Commission, and so all planning decisions have to be viewed through that filter since it was approved by Planning Commission.
Even though we haven't approved it yet? Is that right, James?
So you all as a body can make a different decision because you haven't approved it yet, but Planning Commission and county staff have to view all of these decisions through the lens of Plan Hamilton because it's been adopted by the Planning Commission.
Okay, I just want a clarification
Yes,
because
sir.
you keep referring to it as being approved, and I know we haven't voted on it yet.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Commissioner Graham's correct. It's been approved by the Planning Commission, but not County Commission. So, okay, so that will, Commissioner Eversole, that's in your district. Have you got a light on or? Do you know, pardon me? Okay, well, I thought you might be interested. Has there been any kind of a community involvement meeting on that?
I'm not aware of any. Like I said, there was no opposition to this. I think the reason for our change in recommendation was just because we felt like our recommendation actually fit the applicant's desire even better than the applicant's request. So,
I mean, it does seem reasonable to me. Okay, thank you. That's all I have, Chairman. I appreciate you, bud.